It's Jose, and the New York Knicks are back. After trading for OG Anunoby, and as a fan seeing the sad departure of RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly, the Knicks are currently on a 4-game winning streak, beating the likes of the best record in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Chicago Bulls, the Philadelphia 76ers, by 36 might I add, and just recently beating the Washington Wizards. I want to talk a bit about why they won each of these games, who has performed, why OG might be the greatest plus-minus player in the history of basketball. No, I'm just kidding. And how the Knicks continue to move on top of this. Plus, we're going to look a little bit into their record and see how they can go in the next couple of games. Spoiler alert, I don't think they're losing for the rest of the month of January. So starting off with the man of the hour, a for sure all-star starter, point guard Jalen Brunson, who's currently averaging 26 points a game, 4 rebounds, 6.4 assists on 47% field goal shooting. Man, what can I say about Jalen Brunson? He could score at will. He could go from any spot in the court, shoot it, lay it up, float it up, it's going in. You can guarantee a bucket when it comes to Jalen Brunson. And honestly, he struggled a bit at times this season, and he had a couple of flop games, but you always know he's going to bounce back. And he's shooting from lights out. Off the top of my head, I know he's the best three-point percentage shooter in the league right now, because I saw a stat this morning, and I think it's at like 43% or something like that. And man, that warms my heart, because the Knicks have never had a good three-point shooter like that before. And seeing him play, man, he gets better and better with every single game. But on top of Jalen Brunson, I have to give kudos to Julius Randle for 3 out of the 4 games. Because that game against the 76ers, I'm not going to lie, he threw up a bit of a stinker. Shot like 3 for like 20 or something like that. But I'll give him the pass because the Knicks still won by 36 points. And wow, against a almost fully healthy Philadelphia team, they still had Maxey and Embiid. So for Julius Randle to have a bad night and for the rest of the team to show up, I think McBride and Grimes both had 15 points each. Granted, it was in garbage time, but I love seeing the productivity from this bench. And I love the fact that even though there are still some woes here and there that need to be attended to, they need another wing. And for sure, either need Deuce McBride to develop more into that backup point guard role where he really is moving very smoothly, or to get another wing or something like that, because OG is still the only wing that we have. And the Knicks need something more on top to pair so they can keep contending. But circling back to Julius Randle, I want to talk a little bit about the season he's having. He had a horrible beginning of the season, putting up absolute stinkers. People were demanding a trade. They weren't liking how he was playing. And boy, he stepped it up. He was averaging 24.3 points on 9.3 rebounds with 4.7 assists. That's right, guys. Randle is passing on 47.4% shooting. And these last couple of games, man, he's almost had 40. He had 39 against the Minnesota Timberwolves and 39 again against the Washington Wizards. And I can't ask him for more. The only thing I would want is for him to do this in the playoffs, but only time will tell. Now let's move on to the newest acquisition of the New York Knicks, OG Anunoby. OG started his career with the Knicks off with a bang. He fouled out, but dropped 17 points on 7 for 12 shooting, and he went 3 for 6 from the three-point line. And to add on, he got 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. And the last couple of games, he got 11 points, and 9 points. But man, I was talking to a couple of buddies of mine, and we all said, you can see the defense. He's clamping up these players, and the only reason I see them scoring is when it gets switched out and Josh Hart gets put in. And I know Josh Hart is a good defender, but let's be honest, he's not stopping Anthony Edwards. He's not going to stop Kuzma, as much as I hate to say it. But at the end of the day, I've seen the impact OG Anunoby has had on the Knicks, and I'm personally loving it. I love the fit with the team. I think a couple more games down, he'll get the flow going offensively, and he'll be able to sink some more threes and honestly start averaging way higher numbers than he is now. But to start, the defense has been so good. And now looking at the Knicks schedule moving on Tuesday they go up against the Trailblazers. I think that should be a pretty easy win if I do say so myself, but knowing the Knicks for the last couple of years, who knows, man. And then a tough one against the Mavericks, then the Grizzlies, the Magic, the Rockets, the Wizards again, the Raptors. Circle your calendars for that one. The Quickly Barrett OG fight. Looking forward to that. Then the Nets, the Nuggets, the Heat, the Hornets, and the Jazz to wrap up the month of January. So if I'm looking at it here, I'm seeing 11 wins out of 14. If my math is mathing. And man, if that actually comes to fruition, I expect them to win a couple of these games. They might drop the one against the Heat. They might drop one against the Mavericks. So the Mavericks always have their number on the Knicks. And the matchup against the Raptors, nobody really knows. The Raptors just blew out the Warriors by, I think, 20-something. So, honestly, we're going to have to wait and see. But other than that, I'm Jose Rojas. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go Knicks!